Hi everyone, welcome again to Chai Talks. In this opportunity, we have a special guest. His name is Ivan. Hi Ivan, how are you?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me.
Man, this is the third time I'm interviewing this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
We are actually very good friends. We used to work together. And yeah, we are both Latinos, so we have a lot of things in common. And yeah, we might have
Yeah, a Latino view,
idea.
a Latino view from the Chai.
Yeah. This space is sponsored by Chaiwala. And for the first question that I will have for you, how's it going so far here in Canada?
Good. Will be almost 3 years soon. I've been experiencing every single change from the very first time until now. So it's been a challenging experience, but also the most beautiful one that I have for me and my family as well.
3 years, man. There has been a lot of changes in these 3 years.
Yes. Even though the situation going from the student to a worker, it's a huge difference, and your budget will feel it as well.
Yeah. Actually, what I feel is like every interview that I had with you, it was in every stage. The first one, he was a student. The second one, he graduated.
Yes.
And now he's already a good worker at the job market in Canada. How's it going with your job?
Good. Now I'm doing a little bit more of freelancing. I'm trying freelance for my very first time here in Canada as well. So it's been a huge difference. I'm learning a lot. So a lot of mistakes, I will say, but also a lot of learning for sure.
It's worth it to work as a freelancer?
Definitely. I will say regarding the payment, I will say you are able to manage your time, right? Which is the most valuable thing that you have. So if you have that on your hands, you should definitely go and take it.
And how about this experience as a freelancer? It was related to your background in Colombia?
Yes. Actually, I was struggling back in my country, trying to actually get those type of contracts as a freelancer. But here, I think, of course, because of the college of my studies, my background has actually helped me a lot to get those contracts and to actually say it's been worth it for sure, 100%.
Nice. How did you get into this freelance market here? Because as an immigrant, let's say, right, you had to go through a process, have a qualified job and everything, and beside that, you are working as well as a freelancer.
Yeah.
You have a regular job.
Yes. So you are making it sound like I have a lot of things. It's not like I have a lot of things, but I have a full-time job. And actually, the contract that I get from my freelancer experience, I wasn't looking for it. It just came from our referrals, which means that networking here in Canada is crucial if you wanted to succeed. And that's one big advice that I will say to everyone. If you want to actually succeed here, you need to have like a great network.
Right. How did you get into this stage of building your network?
It's tricky. It's hard. I'm a really social guy,
Right.
but that doesn't mean that I'm a really good with networking, like approaching people in a professional environment.
Yes.
So those are completely two different things.
Right.
And getting to know myself and trying to be social, but in a professional environment has been a learning for sure. And I'm learning something new about my career, about how can I sell myself to those possible prospects that can become a client. But that's one of the biggest things that I've learned so far.
What's the most challenging part of being a freelancer?
Believe it that you are able to do the job.
Right.
One of the things that one of my coaches told me last week was you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm doing this, I can do this, and this, and you have to trust and believe that you are able to do that. So that's the one thing that I would say.
It's a matter that it's self-development, right?
Yes.
If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe you?
Yes. Yes. If you don't sell, if you don't buy your idea, no one will do it. Even though it could be a great idea, you can even have great equipment, but if you don't know pitch and how to sell yourself, it will be really hard for you.
What about your passions here in Canada? I mean, you already had a background, some experience as a professional in your country. Did you find anything that makes you feel passionate about here in Canada that maybe you didn't know when you were in Colombia?
I will say maybe the possibility to actually do something that I will never do in Colombia. I was looking to become a carpenter. So this is the perfect time. If you want to switch or change whatever you want to do in your country, this is the perfect time to do it. I'm not saying that I will gonna do it, but it may be things I want at least try. I want to try. I want to see if I actually like it, if it's something that I really enjoy, and that's because of my wife, I would say.
Really?
She likes furniture. She likes all of those things, and sometimes she's really tricky on those things that we bought for our house.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I would like this to be like this, and I couldn't find it. And like, if you had a carpenter at home, you could actually build this, right? So maybe those kind of things, it doesn't take my sleep away, but it made me think sometimes.
Are you maybe thinking about taking a program to study it?
Could be, yeah. Maybe not in the meantime, but maybe after I get all my paperwork here in Canada, as I have my blue passport, then I will think about those things.
Yeah, because the price is gonna be low.
Yeah, oh, so you have to be strategic with your budget, no?
Right. As a domestic student, you will pay less.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice thought. I'm gonna think about it too.
Yeah, you have to save money, and there are a lot of ways that you can save money, and that's the major way that you can save actually.
Okay, when your wife tells you this, right? You're like, okay, this is too expensive.
Yeah.
I will save a lot of money if I study. And then I make it for you there.
Well, and one thing that I've realized is like here in Canada, people they just put outside of their home like beds frames, different kind of tables or nightstands, night tables. So I've seen all of these videos where people just took those things and they just rebuilt it. They just paint them and they just put it really, really good. And they just get like 300 or 400 more out of the actual something that they didn't actually buy. So all of those kind of things that people actually find a great profit out of it and think like, why not?
Yeah.
It also implies like a change of mentality that we always say, what if this doesn't work, but what if it succeeds?
Right.
So that is also something that I've learned in Canada. Like you need to change your mentality from your country. It's crucial here.
Exactly. It's what you have to do. It's a must, right? Because if you keep thinking, you cannot forget about your culture, your identity. Yeah, you will always be a Latino. Don't pretend to be a Canadian. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
First, you will look like a clown. Second, you're not gonna fit in it, right? Because Canadian people are very open, very empathetic, but they're gonna say, bro, you're a Latino. They keep it like that. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of where you come from. Bring this Latino culture you have here. We can share, but that's how it works.
And I think that's also crucial. Don't lose yourself in the process. I truly believe that there is a real value from your culture, from even from the food. That you can actually share your experience here. So they're really open, but us as a Latinos, we are really warm people. So we are really touchy. So I like hello, and I had to and I need to touch you, and I need to hug you, and then like we are like that. So those are the things that you cannot lose throughout the process. Like it's part of who you are. And but you know, you learn when you move to another country that you are moving out of your comfort zone, right? And I think I've grown. I will be here like for 3 years, but mentally I think I've grown like 5 or 6 years. If I will stay in my country, I wouldn't even be able to think and to process every scenario like I'm doing right now. I think the personal development throughout these almost 3 years has been incredibly high rather than staying in my country for sure.
Yeah, about this huggy that we have. Did you have any experience on that? Because you have to be a little bit careful, you know. Canadian people and some immigrant people as well, you know, who come from more cold countries, they are not this close to the other people, right? They respect their own space and they wanted to do it as well. Did you have any kind of experience?
Tons. I have tons of experience. I remember, and it depends. Of course, not everyone is like that. We cannot generalize everything,
Right.
But I'm used to say good morning every single time. Some people they didn't say good morning back to me. I'm like, how rude. It's just a good morning, but it's part of their culture, and that's fine, right? That's fine. But some
Not Canadian, because
yeah, no Canadian, right?
they're very polite.
Yeah, they're very kind. Yeah, but sometimes I like, even though I just want to shake your hand, and I'm like, because they leave my and like, okay, that's fine. But you also need to. That's something you learn throughout all of those years. Like you will start recognizing who can shake your hand,
Exactly.
or who cannot, who won't shake your hand.
Or at least you go with it. Okay.
Yes. But they won't shake your hand, but they were. Yeah.
COVID in some way, you know, make this structure salutations.
Yes.
And open it for some, yeah, but it close it for some
Yeah.
others, I guess. What about the opportunities you can find here? I mean, in the job market, it's going very well for you, as I can say. But what about opportunities in the market that is not related to Canadian people? Let's say, in my case, I work for some agencies as a freelancer. I work as well for a corporate group, but just the half of these companies that hire me, they're not Canadian. Yeah. It's good because it opens your mind to the world, right? You're in a country, a multicultural country, and gives you the chance to see the world in different ways, how their people see it, right? How they perceive their environment and this process of Canadian immigration. What can you tell me about that?
So in my case, this is a completely opposite thing.
Right.
I work for a small business company, and it's Canadian company, and those two jobs that I got as a freelancer, both also come from a Canadian. But one job that I have as a freelancer, it comes from a Latino, from another Latino. And we can see and we can realize how both opportunities work completely different depending on where it comes from. So the Canadian has like a really structured and really result oriented, and in this case, this Latino experience that I have as a freelancer has also remembered me something from my country. Like the way that we do things are completely different. So we used to approach opportunities the same way, no matter how or where it comes from. But when you realize that there are different culture, there are different approaches to all of those opportunities that you have. So it comes from a Canadian, you should approach it differently. That I'm not saying that you have to do things differently, but you have to approach it differently in terms of how you pitch yourself, how you prove your experience, have you proved your knowledge, which kind of projects actually will be a fit for that job specifically that you have done in your past. So basically, the best way to approach every single opportunity depends on who the person is. For bad clients.
What advice would you give to someone who is interested, not in coming to Canada, to start abroad, to start a new life out of their own comfort zone?
Don't think that you are prepared, because you are not prepared. You can prepare yourself for sure, but you are not. You can think you have everything sorted, and I plan a lot before I came to Canada. I plan everything, and the first 5 months they really hit me. Not only because I left my family, not only because I left my friends, but also when you are there, your completely world changes. So prepare in a way that you can actually have more chance to have like different ways to solve a one single problem. So the big advice giving you this background is have different paths that can lead you to the actual opportunity. So let's say don't rest all your hopes or you're hoping only one road. So have different ways that you can actually get that would help you get there. So for example, if you are looking for a job, don't depend only on LinkedIn or don't depend only on a referral from a friend, because that is not in his hand in this case. So have different roads that can lead you to one opportunity. Don't only depend on one. That's what I would say.
Nice. Thank you so much, man. It's always a pleasure having this kind of conversation.
Next time, I think we will meet once I have kids.
Right?
Kids, so
Another
see another stage. So we'll see.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hamid.
Have a nice one, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.